someone asked about some budgeting apps. And if you go into your app store, honey, there are more of them now than you can even count. I don't use one. The only thing, and I think Shamauree, are you a fan of Mint? Are you a proponent of Mint?
So I am a fan of Mint.
I am
Mint,
too.
yeah, Mint really just shows you your assets versus your debt. Say you have $20,000 in cash, but if you owe $100,000, you really don't have $20,000 as far as
Mhm.
the asset may be. These tools, these resources are all amazing. They're free, they are accessible at any time. However, if you do not have a plan, an actionable plan in
Mhm.
order to execute, you can, like I tell people all the time, you're 9 to 5, you make sure you clock in on time, you go hard. Why do I go hard for you and your family and your why? Antoinette, I hear you. You are still like trying to determine your why, right? It's no different from being in college, trying to figure out what you're trying to concentrate
Which
in.
way? Right.
Right. And still trying to figure out, like, girl, when I graduate, I just wanted to make 60K a year, right? That is totally okay. Ani, I hear you and your husband have like came to an agreement on a number, right? You got the number, but that's what you're saving for. But in order to save, you have to have a budget. You have to understand, like, what can I draw back on? What can I pause? What can I accelerate in order to get to that number quite faster, right? So I know budget is not a term that everyone wants to hear. That is my favorite term, actually, like over everything, because budgeting has allowed me to do things that my family has never done before. I am the third in my family to own a home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first to graduate from college. I'm the first to have an MBA.
Mm-hmm.
I am the first that will actually graduate from the fifth, sorry, that will graduate from high school. Like, what motivates me, what gets me inspired, what really takes me to the next level, what my why is, that my kids would think graduating from college is the norm. And then, baby, if you don't want to graduate from college, you want to become a nail tech, I can show you how to, like, plan out your business and how we can avoid tax deductions and all these type of things. Like, that is my why. I'm pretty sure you all have grew up on hearing save for a rainy day.
Right.
It's never too young to save. Like, but not understanding why you're saving, right, is the most challenging part of it all. I have a great support system around me. If you're not supported, you can keep pushing. Ani, you know me quite well. If you're trying to hang out with me, you weren't in my budget last year when I planned it. You want to go on vacation in Mexico? I will not be a part of that, right? It is really important that we obtain that number that my husband and I have set out for. We have a crazy number that we are striving for this year. Some people will be like, girl, you're trying to do that? Absolutely. Because we budgeted, we're at the point where we have been able to save for that financial freedom, and also say, all right, the rule is 70, 20, 10. 70 is you do wall to wall, you kind of manage your household, you take care of everything that you need to take care of within your doors. The other 20% is more so around saving. The other 10% is donating. We reverse that. We actually save 70% as far as saving and investing. The other 20% is our expenditures within our household, and the other 10% is what we donate. So they say courage skips generations. You be the starting point of that. You start that. You know what you want. No one wants to be broke. Franks and weenies. Hey, I done stepped it up. I don't even do the vegetarian like weenies anymore. Don't ask me about no pork in my food anymore. Like, you have to like understand like what you want, why you're doing it, and don't be afraid to ask questions on how to get there. We always see people deny your confession, Ani, your confession is just beautiful to me right now. People may say, well, you're a CPA, girl, you should have it together. Yeah, you may have that financial number that others are trying to obtain. However, you still deal with those challenges. I still deal with those challenges. I brother Burger King, when I smell that broiler like going off in the middle of the day, me and my husband, we like roll down the windows and we're like, you smell that, you smell that. But knowing that we have some Bubba burgers at home that we can honestly put on the stove or on the grill at, you know, something that isn't out of our budget, and that $30 that we would have paid to go through the drive-thru is something that we can keep in our pocket. So ladies, please, just, it's a mental thing. Right. It's not an app. Right. It is not an accountability partner of, girl, you know, you wasn't supposed to spend that. It is not that. It is you really self-reflecting and understanding your intrinsic value of where you're trying to go. Once you get that,
right. You know, one thing I was thinking about too, just knowing some of the people who are here tonight, I'm looking at one of my friends, Kirsten, who I know who, you know, travels a lot. And I was thinking, you know, someone like her, it's not that she can't travel. It's a matter of saying, what is my commitment for traveling for 2021? That's what I hear you saying, right? So based on my priorities, what's important to me, this is how much money I have coming in. I'm setting a budget for travel. Doesn't mean that I can't travel. I can travel. Is that what I hear you saying, Shamauree? That she has a line item in her budget for travel. You know, I'm can spend $6,000, $7,000, $20,000, whatever her number is. And that will make you kind of make your decisions and plan and focus, because that's your commitment towards that. Doesn't mean it's off the list. Put your commitments within your budget. And that is going to direct your behavior and allow you to make the right decisions versus just kind of, you know, freestyling out here, just kind of figuring it out. Is that right?
Oh, that is so true. What makes me cringe is someone who pays their bills in their mind. Someone who doesn't have it all written down by the date of what you owe year over year. You need to know these things. You can go
what you have coming in, what you have going out, right?
You can go shopping. You can go on vacation. I get paid on the 15th, and I also get paid on the last business day of each month. Today, I am at $17.34 until the 30th. I live paycheck to paycheck on purpose. Somebody may be looking at me like, girl, what you got going on? Like, that has to be stressful. No, I like to pull up to my nearest coffee shop, or I just like the leisure of just doing things. You can do it, but just itemize it and categorize it to where you're telling your commitment. Oh, you'll be in control. Absolutely. There aren't a lot of things that we are in control of, but the way you spend your money as it comes in, absolutely do that.
Right. The other thing too, Shamauree, I just had another aha moment about making your financial decisions based off of your bank balance. And I know a lot of people who do that, to say, oh, I have X amount of dollars. I can. Oh, yeah. I can go ahead and do that, versus saying, wait a minute. Here are my commitments for this time period. You know, it's not about what's my bank balance is, but, you know, this is my commitment for mortgage. This is my commitment for utilities. This is my commitment for car insurance. This is my commitment for groceries. This is my commitment for travel. This is my commitment for savings. Knowing what those commitments are, and then obviously whatever system works for you, tracking that, i.e. spreadsheet, Mint, app, whatever that is. Is that what, again, am I explaining that the right way as far as the steps in the order? Because again, I need to make sure every woman here, beyond their why, they know what steps they need to take to continue to move forward right now.
Absolutely. Step by step, income versus outcome.
Right.
Again, you maybe make it 65, but you're only bringing in $52,000.
Right.
So your takeaway, what you actually bring home is not $65,000.
Right.
Having it by a line item of breaking it down will show you income versus outcome and what funds are readily available, right, or what money you do not have. Like, it'll give you a big perspective of where you're led.
For real.
That is the most shocking part of it all.
Mhm.
You think you got it, you do not have it until you break down all of those dining experiences, hanging
Right.
out with girls, on vacations, your car notes is really supposed to be your mortgage and your groceries. I've been
Mhm.
like consulting with others. It's been their car note, then their mortgages, then it's groceries. Like,
Mhm.
why?
Mhm.
It's a depreciating asset. It depreciates like any other car that leaves off the dealership. I wish I have known that 7 years ago. I
Mhm.
wish I had somebody in my ear like, girl, you may be buying that car for $50,000 today, but next year it'll probably be worth $18,000. Like,
Mhm.
wishing that I had those kind of like conversations or the community around me that really helped empower that. But I had
Right.
to realize, I had to really self-reflect and say, Shamauree, a lot of things that you know how to do today, your mama or your daddy or your grandma didn't teach you how to do that.
Right. Right.
Let's be quite frank. So what are you going to do differently? What is going to take you to get that to that point? And I advise anyone today, if you're not at that point, and you're at a point where like, well, I don't have debt, I just want to understand like how to save and how to actually invest. I admit you, I commend you, I am proud of you.
Right.
Continue to do what you're doing, but you also need structure on how to consistently keep that bar really high.
Mhm.
Just continue to work at it, write it out. If it has to be a constant conversation where people are like, girl, it's like Shamauree calling me, she's talking about God versus, just like how she's talking about budgeting. I could care less of what anyone think about me. The
Mhm.
best accountability partners is my husband and my children. My
Right.
children tell me, hey mom, I went out to the car. I saw that Chick-fil-A car in the car. What's up? Since when? I
Mhm.
thought that
Yeah.
we weren't eating out. Like, getting your
Mhm.
children involved early or your partners involved early is really crucial, and it really helps the mental state and
And get
keeps you.
everybody on the same page. Right. For sure. So anybody who's out there, please, if you have any questions, we would love to make sure that you get them answered. Anything that's specific that we can help you with. If you are trying to figure out how to get savings into your budget, whatever it is, landing on your why, anything that you want to ask us that we can give you some direction on right now, because I want to again make sure that you get what you need. Please don't be shy. Of course, you can drop it in the chat, or you can come on with us and ask a question.
Yes, budgeting apps is one of but a lot of ladies are really just sharing their whys, which are amazing. So I don't know if you guys can see them in the chat.
Yeah. And then for apps, the only one that I have a particular experience with is the same one that Shamauree likes, is Mint. I like Mint. Mint, y'all have heard of like TurboTax, of course. Y'all have heard of QuickBooks. Intuit owns Mint as well. I'm all things Intuit. I'm a fan of. I think it's super easy. It will help you budget too. If you say, I only want to spend, $15 a week on coffee, it will let you know when you're getting close to the limits that you set. I only want to spend $100 a month on eating out. It will let you know when you're getting close. So you can do all that within the app if apps are your thing. If you're not one of those spreadsheet type of people, but setting those boundaries, because again, it's not meant to restrict you. Because remember, you said your why is you want to have $30,000 set aside for this rental property, or you want to go on vacation, you want to get that wedding that you want. Something is going to have to change to make that happen. So it's like, how are you going to get it all together? You're going to have to make some of those spending adjustments. Stephanie says, is there a percentage that is recommended? It closed. Ani, did you see what her question was? What did Stephanie say?
Yes. Is there a percentage that is recommended to save for children or include in our monthly
The kids. I can only speak from my personal experience.
Right.
Every year, my kids are in soccer. They have after school like programs. We've also have been saving towards a 529 for our children. And we've also been saving in a personal account for our children as well, if they stay in state. Okay. If you stay here and go to a public school, mom and dad got you, right? I can't give you a dollar value on that. If it's a public school versus a HBCU school, it completely changes the dynamic of what you need to potentially save. So academically, I make sure my children are in the best programs to be inclined there. From an athletic standpoint, I make sure that they get the best training that they need to succeed. So when they do exactly. When they do graduate from college, and when they do come out, mommy and daddy already got that 20% down on their first time home. Right. Contributing to a account for their children as they are growing up. So you really have to sit down, talk to your child, understand what they want to do in life. If you have a doctor on your hands, God be with you, right? That is something that you would love to have scholarships all over. However, you saving and pacing at a percentage of what you feel comfortable coming out of your paycheck with to get your child to that next level is solely up with your comfortability. But something is better than nothing, right? We hear all the time, grandma say $10. If you just put $20 to the side, baby, imagine what that'll be like in 30 years, right? Based off your comfortability of what you're able to do will take you a long way. So Stephanie, let me tell you what I did with my kids that helped me out a lot. So what my husband and I did, we had a separate account where we had calculated their expenses, activities. They were in activities, private school, clothing, all that stuff. So we knew what it was going to take. Summer camp, we knew what the budget was for them. With that amount, we had that moved. We took that total number. I'm just making it up. Assume that number was $12,000. And we were contributing to that account once a month to get to our desired number. That way, every time we wrote in, we had to pay an expense for our kids, it only came out of this one account. So I didn't have to think about my kids anymore. Their money was already set to the side. Time to pay for basketball, done, that's over. Time to pay for summer camp, done, that's over. But I had already allocated, I had already done the math, not kind of what I was thinking. I had done the math on what it was going to take to run them all year long. And so I suggest that you do something similar, jot down those items, allocate a percentage to clothing, and same thing what Shamauree's talking about, 529. We had the same approach. Our boys were 4 years apart. So I was contributing more to my older son's account first, because obviously he was coming out of school first. Had that same conversation. You're going out of state? Do you, boo? I'm not mad at you. This is what we have allocated for you. I am not signing my name on one loan. I'm not co-signing for you, nor am I getting any Parent Plus loan. It's not going to happen. So they got that 529 money. That's all. I didn't contribute a dime to them after that. But I had a budget. I treated my 529 like a bill. It literally was in my list of expenses that I had to pay, what I was contributing to them for that. So you treat your savings like a bill. You treat your kids 529 like a bill. And then I promise you it's going to change. Instead of like, oh, I'm just going to whatever amount I have left over. Treat that like it's your mortgage payment, like it's your car insurance, and it's going to be a game changer. So I hope that helps, Stephanie, for you. Antoinette says, does Mint require access to your bank account? It does. Your bank account and credit card. I'm kind of feeling like they have all of our information anyway. So that doesn't bother me, but I know some of us are a little bit more concerned about that. Sabrina says, yeah, Parent Plus loans are highway robbery. If y'all don't listen to
question above too, what are some saving tips? Any tips on how to make budgeting easier? How do I stay motivated / disciplined?
Your motivation. Your motivation is why you're doing it.
It's your why. Okay.
When I say it's your why of doing it, like it was 14 of us in a king size bed. I didn't have my first birthday until I was 21 years old. That was planned by my husband. I treat birthdays quite differently than anyone else may see. Well, it's just another year. I'm telling her another number. No, for me, I am going all in. I am international on my birthday. So the way I perceive it, the type of companionship, like the type of just the gratitude that I have for my for a birthday itself, let alone reminds me of my why. Living in different projects, like growing up, it's my why. My children has never experienced that. Wouldn't like ever in a million years say like my mother lived there. Like being able to create those opportunities, having those type of options, again, creating that 529 plan for, hey, this is the percentage that I'm going to allocate for you to go to college.
Right.
I will not take myself as in debt. This is the reason why I'm doing it, so you do not go in debt. Is a real precedent on what we are striving for today. Once you get that, once you take the time out, I mean, hey, you may have a lot of things going on, illness, someone in the family ill, like some things are hard to like get started. The hardest thing to do is actually to start. Ani, you know, I'll start a diet at 9:10 on a Wednesday and I'll be real strict on it. I'm doing it for 30 days. I am trying to get that body back from 06 that I know I won't be able to attain. However, my motivation and my discipline and my willingness to get there trumps anything else that's like occurring in my life, right? So just stick to it. I get it, it's hard. You are going to fail. Like
you're making some mistakes for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, someone like you're gonna fail. Like I fail forward all the time. Throughout this entire budget, there are some times that we fell off the bandwagon, right? You know, being submissive to say one of our kids' birthday. Well, you only get it once, like to really honing in and saying, okay, we spent $1,000 last year. We plan to spend $1,000 this year.
Right.
Put this amount of money to the side per month. It'll be nothing to us, right? So getting a system will really help, and an actionable plan will really help you like get to your goal. Every goal has objectives. Right. You can do a vision board all year. That vision board is sit. I like to take stickers and put stickers up on it every time I hit my goal. But there are steps, there are channels that you have to make in order to get to that goal. But it always starts here.